Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another video here. So we actually got the new titles here for the last 3 episodes of The Walking Dead. And so I'm going to react to them and we're going to sort of recap all the titles, go through all of it, and I'll give some thoughts on it. So before we go any further, make sure to be a subscriber if you do want to get all my Walking Dead content like this. The show is returning in 3 days. I'm going to have reviews every single Sunday, trailer breakdowns every single Sunday, and videos every single day, honestly, talking about certain storylines, things to expect, some predictions and whatnot, any news that we get. You know, Andrew Lincoln is going to be filming that Rick Grimes TV show at some point soon. So whenever we learn any details of that, I'll definitely do a video on that immediately. But yeah, like I said, make sure to be a subscriber if you do want to get all my Walking Dead content like that. But let's actually get into the episode titles here. So thank you to everyone who tagged me on Twitter with all this stuff, because I really never miss anything, because like everyone just tags me right away and I'm like, oh, I guess something dropped. I don't know who originally got this, but I saw it from T Walking D World on Twitter. Who is obviously probably the best Walking Dead account on Twitter, gets everything, up to date with everything, knows a lot of the characters and everything. I do really think this account's probably the best Walking Dead account on Twitter. And they posted the 3 new episode titles here that we don't know. So we'll go over the first 5, I guess, and then we'll go into the next 3. Actually, no, we'll just get into the next 3, then we'll recap all of them afterwards. So episode 22. So remember, the season is ending with 24 episodes, so we know 22, 23, and 24 now. Episode 22 is titled Faith, episode 23 is titled Family, and episode 24 is titled Rest in Peace. And I absolutely love that. Rest in Peace was the final volume of The Walking Dead, and it's kind of cool that they're using that. To be honest, that is something that we've always wanted. You know, throughout the last, I don't know how many years, but we've always wanted them to sort of tell or use, I guess, certain titles from the comic book, and they just never really ever did. You know, there was like Whispers into Screams. I think that would have worked really well as an episode title. I mean, New World Order. You know, there's a lot of stuff that they could have used that would have been like so awesome for comic book fans, right? But like they just never did it for some weird reason. I don't know if they were just trying to be different for the sake of being different, but like that stuff is just so cool. Honestly, I think that they should have used it a lot more, because some of the episodes, like having the first episode Days Gone By, that's the first volume, right? It's called Days Gone By. And also, I'm pretty sure the first issue. And you have the last issue now, you know, being called Rest in Peace, which I think that works. You know, the very last episode titled Rest in Peace, I still like the title Years Gone By. I've talked about this now since Rick's departure. I really feel like if they were to do like, actually, you know what? Just with the Rick and Michonne TV show, I think that first episode should be titled Years Gone By, because it's sort of a nod to Rick's first appearance on the main show, but he's been gone for years. So in that first episode, title it Years Gone By. I think it just makes the most sense to do something like that, because titling it Years Gone By is just such an awesome title. They've never used it at all. They've never used it anywhere. And so, you know, for me, I just really want them to, because I think it's just such an epic title. But yeah, to have episode 24 Rest in Peace, I mean, I imagine characters are going to be dying for sure. That's definitely going to be a part of it. But I feel like it's more of a nod to the fact that the show is ending, right? So like, rest in peace, The Walking Dead. Although it's not really like, the show's not dying. The show's, if anything, it's becoming more alive after it ends, right? And so let's go over all the episodes here that are remaining. So we have 8 episodes here. Episode 17 is titled Lockdown. Episode 18 is A New Deal. Episode 19 is Variant. Episode 20 is What's Been Lost. Episode 21 is Outpost 22. Episode 22 is Faith, 23 Family, 24 Rest in Peace. So to give some predictions here on what I think is going to be happening here, I mean, obviously the first 2 episodes here, Lockdown and A New Deal, I think that's really going to focus just on the main plot here with the Commonwealth. There's going to be some crazy rioting and whatnot because of the stuff with the Milton family. So I think a lot of that is going to be focused just really on that, and just sort of that current, you know, Commonwealth arc. And I think it's obviously a character is supposed to die at the end of episode 18. A New Deal is interesting. So, you know, does a character strike a new deal with the Milton family? I think it's possible, considering the fact that we do see a lot of characters residing at the Commonwealth. There's some characters in a church or in different locations, and it's a little weird that they're just allowed to live there. So maybe there is a new deal that's made, and maybe it has to do with, you know, maybe killing Lance. Maybe Lance was more of the issue. But then again, it really depends with a lot of this stuff, because we're going into the last 8 episodes here. So ending that episode like that would just be a little random, because there's so much more that's happening. Episode 19 is Variant. This is obviously going to be the new Variant Walker, which I'm really excited for this episode. I really cannot wait. I mean, this Sunday we're going to be watching episode 17 and 18, and then the week after is 19. So the trailer that we get for 19 is going to be so crazy because it's going to be all the Walker stuff, right? So I really cannot wait for that. Episode 20, What's Been Lost. I feel like, obviously we're trying to see if there's going to be any sort of Rick connection or Rick tease here in any of this stuff, right? So titling it What's Been Lost, that could be something there. That could be hinting at it. But there's also like faith, and then there's like family. So it could really be any of those episodes. I mean, all those episodes are very, very generic, very cryptic. And obviously we are going to learn that Rick's alive, right? Or at least the characters are going to learn that. So it's just a matter of when. What's Been Lost could be a little bit too soon, but maybe that has to do more with, I mean, yeah, again, it just really depends. But then there's Outpost 22. This is a reference to Alexandria because Alexandria has now been renamed to Outpost 22. So this could be about trying to get back Alexandria. At some point here, again, the episode titles tell a certain story of the episode, but it's not the whole episode, right? So there's going to be some stuff here with Connie and the mystery of Tyler Davis and whatnot. So that's going to be explored at some point throughout these episodes here. And then we go to the next two here, and I'm just going to kind of combine these together. There's faith and there's family. So in terms of faith, it's is it a Gabriel episode? I mean, I think that's too easy to say. I think a lot of people have faith. It's just about having faith in something, having faith in yourself to do something. So this one here, again, it's kind of hard to predict, but family's the one where I'm like, I think that has to be the Rick thing, right? And I really do feel like they're going to wait that long. It does seem like they're probably going to wait until literally that moment there. And that's them finding their family. Daryl's going to find his family. He's going to find Rick, his brother. And I just feel like, that's where that's going to happen. A lot of the stuff beforehand, I think it's going to be wrapping up certain elements of those stories, but I think episode 23 is going to end with finding out Rick's alive and some stuff with family and whatnot. There might be some stuff with Judith. I mean, we know there's some shots of Daryl carrying Judith, right? So I think a lot of that is going to happen in this episode. And then 24, rest in peace. They're going to wrap up everything. And what happens, right? Like what actually happens in that finale. There's some rumors about there being a big time jump. So that's maybe they do that because that did happen in the comic. And if they do that, what if episode 24 is the whole time jump episode? I don't know if they'll do something like that. So it's hard to say right now. I don't know what these next episodes are going to be like. It'll get easier to predict once we're over there. But rest in peace is going to be a really, really crazy day. Obviously they did confirm yesterday that the Walking Dead finale or series finale will be airing at the same night for everybody. It's going to be really epic. Honestly, it's going to be our goodbye to the show. And I just can't wait to do that because I'm excited for the spinoffs. I'm excited for Rick's return and stuff. And next year is going to be such a crazy ride with zombie content. There's so much stuff. Like this year, there really wasn't a lot. Next year, there's going to be so much. I feel bad for getting excited about that sometimes because the main show obviously meant a lot. And I'm trying to think of it as like the main show was the main show and it gave us all these epic moments. But it is hard because obviously like I kind of view it as, well, the main show, the main show was only ever good because of the characters that were on it. And the characters are going to be still living on. Yeah, I don't know. It is what it is. We're sort of in a weird place with all of it, to be honest. Like to have, or just to know, that there's going to be spinoffs after this. It's just a weird place. But once we say goodbye to this, once the show is over, in 2 months, then our focus is going to be on the spinoffs. Then things will feel a lot more, I think, real and a lot more like, all right, we said goodbye to those characters. Now let's actually move on to Rick Grimes and Michonne Grimes and Daryl and everyone else, right? I think that's going to be something that is truly an epic moment. Just to think of Rick's return and that excitement next year at Comic-Con, waiting for that trailer. Like you thought this year was big. Next year is going to be so much bigger. Because if you think about Comic-Con this year, the trailer for the last episodes wasn't even that big. Like, people liked it, obviously, but the bigger announcement was that fact that Rick and Michonne were coming back, right? So just wait. With all that stuff with Rick, it's going to get really chaotic next year. But anyways, I'm going to leave it here. Definitely post all your thoughts down below and your reactions for the titles. I mean, I guess, what do you think is going to happen? Now that you have all 8 episode titles here, what do you think is going to happen in all 8 episodes? Definitely post all your thoughts down below. Hope you guys all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.